everybody. Welcome to my channel. It's Sunday. It's a chill night. We're hanging out. We're going to be talking some WandaVision with my great and wonderful guests. Steve Kenobi, how are you?
7 out of 10.
Okay. That's about 5.
Pretty good.
That's pretty good.
What?
That's about 5.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't complain about 5.
Yeah. Because 5 is like so-so, right? And
it's
7
mediocre. Nothing to complain about, nothing to cheer about.
Hey, no news is good news.
Yeah, especially if you're being hanged.
Steve Kenobi, everybody. Do you want to tell everyone where they can find you?
On Sporking's channel on Mondays and on OG Star Wars on Thursdays. And when I'm on the toilet, I tend to watch Fat Steven Seagal play video games.
Wow. I'll be sure to let him know that.
He knows.
Oh, God. That's weird.
I really should start watching Sporking's The Dump when I do that.
Oh,
that's perfect for it.
This is high quality content, you guys. Hi, Scott. How are you?
Hi. And I thought it was a pants on type of stream. Okay.
I know that's why you have yours like all the way on your head.
I know. I'm like, what am I doing? God, my computer sucks. I'm doing well. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited for this. I like this show a lot. I would give it a 7 also out of 10. I think we were just talking backstage. I think some of the things you guys didn't like, I actually thought was a smart idea if they go a certain route for the last 2 episodes, but we'll talk about that later.
We'll get there. Yeah, we'd love to talk about. Hi, Darren's here. Curtis has been here for a while. Curtis. Tim's here. Hi. And of course, Teresa, the lovely Teresa. Thank you so much, Teresa, for being here and modding for the channel. I really appreciate you. Jayne.
Yes.
Siri, who doesn't like deers?
I like them. I just want to get bit by one.
She thinks deer bite. It's really cute.
They bite.
They do bite.
They bite food.
No, they bite you when you approach with a hammer and stuff.
Oh my God. No, they don't. They run away.
This is terrible.
Let's not get into this conversation.
Terrible.
Hi,
Hello.
How are you, Jayne? Tell everybody where they can find you.
I'm doing well. You can find me here on YouTube, where I post movie and television reviews and some pop culture commentary. You can also find me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at Jayne Theory.
Excellent. Can you?
What does that even mean?
Can you please do me a favor? Because yesterday I asked you, and you were like, kind of like, you were a little salty about it. But can you just say your line, please?
Hey, guy. Oh, her.
No, not you. You ruined it. Get out.
What?
Oh, Lord. Hey, guys.
Yay. That makes me
she's not a goddamn clown for your amusement.
Yeah.
Quiet, Scott. That's what you're here for.
She's not your little parrot, Nina.
Dance for me.
I'm not Agatha Harkness. What are you talking about? That is
Agatha Harkness.
What?
I don't know. That's my song for it.
It was Agatha all along. Okay, we're gonna get into this.
I loved it.
Did you?
I did.
Okay. All right. Should I bring up like the scenes from the show? Do you want to do that the way I did with The Expanse?
I like how you do that.
Yes,
I think it helps me remember.
Okay. Let me bring that up.
I'm indifferent to it.
You're indifferent to everything. Except for the extended universe where you rip people a new one.
Yes.
They deserve it.
Yeah. They didn't bend the knee, so they must burn.
You're like, how dare you? You like literally pull a freaking, what's it called?
What I love, you know what? I gotta say it. And I have friends on both sides. So if you want to get your panties in an uproar, get your panties in an uproar. But everything people are fighting for Gina for, they attack Stig for.
I know it's so funny, but Speak literally turns into Swede, specifically this one.
How dare you?
Nina, you're a whore.
Oh, how dare you? Wow.
You asked
That was
for it.
great.
You're not allowed to talk like that on my channel, just FYI. So here we go. I mean, you can talk about like that about Kathleen Kennedy, but not about me. I'm your
Not
host.
the host.
Kathleen Kennedy never called me a Swede.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
She may as well have. With how she's treated Star Wars. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're not here to talk about Kathleen Kennedy, even though she should go to hell. But talking about WandaVision, which I think is pretty much the best thing that's come out of Disney for a very long time. This show has been
Since Infinity War. And since Infinity War, I think.
I mean, even Infinity War kind of sucked compared to this, but
No, Infinity War was good. Thanos was a villain I wanted to kind of support.
I mean, he had a point.
Yeah.
He wasn't entirely wrong.
No, he wasn't. And it was like they totally disrespected his character. I know he was 2014 Thanos in the end game, but like it was like the Infinity War, he was on this spiritual journey after he collected the the Space Stone, because he had the 2 stones, and it was just something. I thought it was a great movie. The best one ever is still Winter Soldier, but yes. WandaVision to me is something special.
Infinity War is amazing. Never mind, I forgot. Endgame. I always get those mixed up.
Endgame blue.
I hate Endgame.
I don't think so. I like Endgame.
Oh, it was terrible.
But Civil War was really good.
Loved it? Like you loved it? I mean,
no, I didn't say I loved it.
Oh, see, I didn't like Civil War either. I liked
Civil War.
I liked Winter Soldier. That was the best one they did. Winter Soldier still to me is the top-notch Marvel movie.
It's the best for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. I agree.
I've been rewatching all of them chronologically this time, so I actually forced my way through Captain Marvel.
And the worst part is, Stig, let me ask you a question, because you watched First Avenger and then Captain Marvel, correct?
No, chronologically. So Captain Marvel happens after Captain America, right?
Well, I guess so. I always think Captain America because of the flashback. Yeah, you're right. I'm sorry about that. Okay, forget it.
You're forgiven.
Wardofheim Hello says, I love Jayne's fresh take on Willy's Wonderland, Nick Cage being Nick Cage. I'm all about it.
Yeah, I just did a review of that film, and it's on my channel. If anyone wants to check it out.
Check that out. Thanks.
You make the rest of us look slow. You just bang out content like it's going out of style.
Oh, no.
But I enjoy watching it.
She bangs out takes on Willy's.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, Blake St. Clair knows his shit.
Blake St. Clair says Infinity War Thanos was so much more compelling and intimidating than Endgame Thanos. Okay, see, I agree with this, and I'll even take it a step further and say the one that was at the end credit scene in Guardians of the Galaxy, that Thanos was freaking badass. Like, I was scared. Like, not scared, but I was like, oh my God, this dude looks so crazy.
When he puts on the gauntlet? Is that when he puts the gauntlet on?
No, he was just talking. He just kind of turns around at the camera and you find out that's
that was the teaser.
That was the teaser. Yeah.
And he looked so intimidating compared to like all the other Thanoses. Like, I feel like they shrunk him down compared to what he used to be in the first.
They did.
The very first one that we saw, that one was like, whoa, this dude.
Did you guys see that meme of O.J. Simpson in court putting on the gauntlet and then his wife disappears?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. I did not see that. Though I did love the little kid that ran up and kicked Thanos in the head. I said, if that kid, like if a fight goes down, I want that kid on my side, because he was like, he took on Thanos. The kid said, F this, I am. I was like, you're dope.
Kid was like, I'm taking this dude out.
Go for the head.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, Spider-Man's just standing there, and so is fucking Iron Man. I'm going to take this dude out.
You know, fight or flight. That kid fought. I'm down with that little kid. He was like
Spider-Man-
7, and he said,
Spider-Man
"I'm
was, like,
going for
standing
it."
there like this. Spider-Man's like it's just it was so
It
epic.
was
It was
awesome.
Hey Mads. Hey.
Mads.
I'm
We
Umber.
went from
California
intimidating
racing.
Tiger to California racing. It's true. It's true.
Infinity War was also just hyper emotional too. I mean, there was so much going on.
Mm-hmm.
It just
Yeah.
it felt different. It had a completely different tone, I think.
I mean, yeah, it just the whole soul stone, and then even just the way he fought Tony Stark, like he showed respect in his battles. He didn't kill if he didn't have to, and in Endgame, he was like, "I'm killing everybody. You're all losers." You know, like he became a comic book villain and not like this complex story behind his arc. You know, he had no arc in the last one. It sucked.
It's kind of what they did with Palpatine in Rise of Skywalker. He became a comic joke.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
God.
like, look, I have a
Curtis.
secret plan with a bunch of ships, and I'm going to attack you now. Yeah, he announced it.
I
You
never
know?
even saw the last one. I was like,
It
I'm
was so
not
stupid.
watching this. John to this day is like, dude, you should just watch it, like maybe just to see. And I'm like, no, I'm not even wasting my time. No, not even for free.
It's a complete waste of time.
Curtis D of Montana, thank you so much for the $5. Says Nina, I hope this helps your channel grow. I will always love real Marvel before Disney bought it. Stan Lee is a hero of mine, and mine too. And I also will always love the real Star Wars before Disney bought it. And that's where I'm at with everything. Like I've just kind of separated Disney from everything I've loved. Like even like I love Disney on its own because I grew up on Disney movies like as a kid. So like I will always love the Disney princess movies and stuff like that in a whole category of its own.
Mhm.
And then everything else like modern Disney, I just kind of learned to compartmentalize when it comes to Disney and what they've done to certain media that we love, especially Star Wars. So
Would you agree if I said Disney has blurred the line between nostalgia and necrophilia?
yeah. Yeah, I think I would. I think I would agree with that. Would you agree with me if I said that Star Wars is kind of like a bagpipe? If you know how to play it right, it'll sound really beautiful. But if you don't know what you're doing, which is what Disney knows, it sounds like shit.
Strangling cats.
Yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
that
And
that's
there's
that's how I
spit in
feel
the
about
pipe
Star
and
Wars.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how I feel about Star Wars. But thank you so much, Curtis. And I'm going to give you a little thank you clip. Here you go.
Thank you for coming. I'll see you in hell.
All right. So with that, we're going to start talking about this episode, which like, a lot happened in this episode. So she wakes up. She's all, feeling depressed and weird because
Well, she wakes up and Vision's not there next to her. That was
Right.
interesting.
yeah,
Made her
so
just
she's like-
realize. I do love the the hexes they have on his pillow and her sheets, but her pillow's like an amoeba. Like everything is still just moving and going through each other. Like that's how her mind is right now. It's I find it interesting.
Yeah, I like that too. I didn't even notice the hexes. Good. That's interesting. That's one of the things I
all I
like
see
about
is
this
hexes
show.
now.
That's one of the things I like about the show is that, there's so much symbolism and like there's so many different things that you see. And even like this pillow, like it's got the mandala and the mandala is a representation of infinite realities and all that stuff like that. So
Wow. What is it now? It's a what?
A mandala, like the Mandela effect.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot of symbolism going on there, and that's interesting.
Disney usually does PG-13, but this is their first hex-rated show. Sorry, I'll stop.
Oh my god. So she's all depressed, and this is kind of like I guess they're in the 2000s now, so she's kind of
Right.
like
Modern Family.
Yeah, like Modern Family style. Like kind of like a little bit of like I felt like there was a little bit of like Malcolm in the Middle in there with her
Oh, yeah.
and her two boys being, like
Well, that was
they're
definitely
kind of-
last week.
Yeah, I think that
Yeah,
was last
that's
week.
true
Yeah.
too.
But the theme song was more Office. It sounded almost exactly like The Office. But it had the opening, and I had to look this part up because I was wondering why they kept flashing like her name. The Russo brothers had a show that's how their opening started. With the name. So I think that was a homage to them. But the song, to me, the minute I heard it, I thought The Office.
But I think also too, I was
Thank you, brother.
wondering whether seeing her name over and over again without his until the very end had something to do with him and her sort of being much further apart now or separated.
Say that one more time.
Because you saw her name flashing over and over again until the
Yes,
very
you
end,
did.
and then Vision
Okay.
slid in, and so it made me think that this represented their relationship right now.
See, I have a
Yeah.
different thought about that.
See,
have
you
a
know
different
what's
thought
weird,
about that.
Jane, is like I kind of thought that, but I also thought like a part of me went a little scared. I'm not even gonna like sugarcoat this because it's Disney. So I was like, oh no, are they like just gonna take out Vision altogether and make it like all Wanda and it's like female power? Like,
Right.
we're all like going Wanda now. Like I didn't like that they were doing that at first. I was like, what? Where's Vision? Because Vision's my favorite character in this show. So I'm like,
He's fantastic.
He's so great. So like, I mean, like I love his duality, like how he's questioning everything. Like there's so much going on with Vision. So the fact that they were doing that, I freaked out for a second. I was like, where's Vision? And then at the end they were like, Vision. And I was like, okay, thank God he's there.
Well, see what I got from it, because it was WandaVision created by Wanda herself. But what I got from that was because we got the answer at the end, it was actually Agatha all along. I thought the Wanda part was almost Agatha forcing Wanda to think it's all you, Wanda. It's all you. You created this. The whole thing is about you. But at the very end, it's like, actually, it's me. It's not you, Wanda. It was me who created this. So that's why I thought it was kind of interesting how they put created by Wanda Maximoff. But at the very end, it's like, no, it wasn't. It was actually me who did this.
Right. Mega Max says this show has an ambitious concept, but overall felt like a letdown. At times, it was like a teaser for woke MCU. So here's like one of the things that I was talking about backstage, and Scott was like, "Keep it for the stream."
Yep.
I was thinking like, especially at the beginning, I was really enjoying this show because it had this really dark kind of like Twilight Zone-y feel to it, and I really liked that. And I felt like this show is actually not for kids. Like I was like, kids aren't even going to understand this show.
For children.
It's not really made for kids. And then fast forward now 7 episodes ahead, we get to a point where like there was this one scene at the beginning where she's basically talking about, how she moved the thing, and she's just all like concerned about what she did, like in the scene where she was talking about it, and she's like, so I made like I moved the thing, and it cuts to a place of like them all running away, and it just had this like really, really like childish, silly,
Campy.
Yeah, like that thing to it. Whereas in all the other episodes, or like most of the other earlier episodes, felt really adult. And it feels like now they're like, okay, we're gonna take that adult tone and turn it completely silly. And like now they even have a circus there now. So you're like, there's just all this really weird, silly shit going on, and you're like, this was not the tone of the show, and now they're trying to flip that tone and make it all silly. And I'm not vibing with that tone.
See, I disagree though. All the episodes start out that campy, fun. It's actually a sitcom feel to it, and she was following that into the 2000s with this Modern Family feel to it. The only difference is where they show them turning into clowns, like showing that Modern Family where they always flash to something else when they're talking about it, or The Office, they flash to something else. That's how she feels about the government. They're clowns. So I thought that was kind of a funny way of showing it. The only difference I agree with you on is at the very end, when we always see that one dark, serious thing, it was the Agatha like show where it became kind of campy again. So I'm hoping
Right.
that's setting up like a darker, penultimate, whatever you call it, second to last episode. I'm hoping they did that because that second to last episode is going to be a lot more movie tone, like dark movie tone.
But I feel like even in this like scene when they were talking to her, like it was just so silly. Like everything was so silly. Like so, but even in the earlier episodes when you had those funny, comical, silly moments, it all felt very out of place. So you're kind of like you're feeling this really odd feeling, kind of the way you used to feel when you watched The Twilight Zone or something, because you know there's something out of place. You just don't know what it is.
This is too Modern Family, you're saying.
Yes.
It's too like spot on.
Yeah.
And not even
like,
just that, the real world is too funny to me.
Yes,
it's too
the
silly.
real world is too funny.
And it just, for what she's doing, I mean, just think about what she's doing. We learned, I think it was last episode or the episode before last, that the people on the edges are essentially dying.
Frozen.
And it's her fault. And they're making jokes and watching it like it's a TV show and just doing all this silly stuff. And what is the tone? Like, what is the show supposed to be? I stopped reviewing it because I'm just, I really hate the direction they seem to be going in with her character, and just with like Nina was saying, the tone of the series. If they're gonna somehow turn this back into something more serious and darker, I just don't know how that they have enough episodes to do it well.
What do you think, Stig?
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. I don't think they're gonna do that. I think they're gonna go lighter and lighter and lighter, and then they're gonna be like light, because it's gonna be, because they're still talking about how they're gonna have that special guest, like the Luke Skywalker moment, that we're gonna feel like, oh my God, like everything's gonna be okay because that person's gonna come, like whoever that is. What were you gonna say?
Paul Bethany said it was an actor that he wanted to work with for a long time.
His whole life.
Yeah, so I'm thinking Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, it has to be him or Sir Ian McKellen, excuse me.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking more like Ian, because like supposedly that's supposed to be her dad, right? Like, yeah, so
if they're gonna change the MC, if they're gonna retcon, it will be her dad.
Which they seem to be doing with the casting of the new, what was his name?
Quicksilver.
Quicksilver, thank you.
But he's not Quicksilver. I gotta say, the thing I agree with you most is that the outside world didn't have the seriousness feel of what it has in previous episodes, like, because you see the aspect ratio changes. So when it's TV, it's that like whatever 4:3, 3:4, whatever it is, and then it spans out.
It spans out.
Yeah. So when you're out there, you want it to be more serious, more like this is where we get all our real info, because we have no clue what the hell's going on. And it wasn't enough. Like the big reveal of the truck was some major somebody we don't know. Like, who's the astrophysicist? Like, are we going to see Reed Richards, or was that just that, well, we're not there yet, but I know what you mean. Like, I didn't feel the seriousness, but inside the world, I feel like she's so like broken right now for everything that happened in the last episode. She's trying so hard to stay in that sitcom bubble, but yet she's depressed like all other. Like, she doesn't even want her kids around her. Like, I think that's why it has that campy feel, because she wants it to.
And I mean, like right away when Agnes came into this scene and she was like, let me take the kids, I was like, something's about to go down. Like, Agnes is going to finally make her move, because this was the first time that she like let the kids out of her sight.
Right. And she offered to show a mole. She wanted her to look at a mole on her back, which is a sign of a witch.
That was weird. I was like, what is that?
Excellent catch, Sporking.
Yeah. So the minute she went to show her, I'm like, she's telling her she's a witch right now, but she's so lost.
Maybe the tone flipping has to do with, that there's kind of like a mental witch battle going on.
Yeah. Well, I have a theory. And if you don't mind me saying it real quick, at the very beginning of the show, the hex, which we'll see the hex in like hard red hexagon shape since she's grown it. But at the beginning, it was translucent. You could see through it. And when they got close enough, it had reddish, bluish, purplish colors to it. So the creation of this wasn't just Wanda. Yes, Wanda had something to do with it, but because of that purplish tone to it, it was both her and Wanda. Now, after last episode, when Wanda freaked out and Vision was dying, she took control of that hex, and that's why it's so scarlet red now. And I think that's why at the beginning of the episode, it was the Wanda show created by Wanda because Agatha Harkness wants Wanda to hold on to this sitcom feel, and she's scared she's losing control. So that's why it's such a push to be this modern family feel to it, because Wanda's so powerful, and I don't know if she knows if she can control her or not. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Agatha is a classic witch name too, though.
Oh,
but that's
so
the other thing too, though. Like when they, and I mean, we're gonna get there, but when they did do that scene with Agatha, like even after the song, like when she basically kind of like revealed herself to be Agatha, I thought it was so comical. Like she's like, yeah,
it was too campy. You're right.
Yeah, like she was like, I'm Agatha, and like that's right, and she's like doing like her little thing, and I was like, she could have been way darker than this. This is weird because they had set up the tone for her to be that creepy witch, and then now she's like all comical and like whatever.
Well,
like, what?
But will she be dark in the next episode because I feel like the next episode has to tell us who she is, at least some of her history.
Yeah.
So
like,
will it be that darker? You know, like I don't know.
Sketch Therapy says Agatha is an avatar of ancient evil using the Nexus to extract power from the multiverse. The Nexus is where X-Men, Spider-Man, and MCU meet. It's part of Miles Morales' movie Nexus is in it.
Right.
Holy shit, the guy knows his Marvel.
He does.
Yeah,
and you know, Wanda's a Nexus level being. Like she doesn't change no matter what universe she's in. And that's what's weird about this hex. It's because she has changed. Yet underneath, she really hasn't. She's just playing along. There's so many different ways you can go with this show. You're right. I really hope they hit it out of the park with the
this is the other. This is the question I have too, Sketch. Like, because he's like, are they her kids? And that's interesting to me because I mean, yes, she gave them birth, so that is her kids.
Yeah.
But is it though? Because like of what you're explaining right now, like how like Agatha had a say in creating that world. So like if she like it's not like her and Vision when it actually did, you know, whatever and her get pregnant. She got pregnant like all of a sudden. It was a manifestation of that reality. It wasn't like they actually went and made a child. So
there's a theory that she pulled them from a different universe.
Yeah, she had to do something because she doesn't have the ability. That when they were shooting her 70s clothes, Rambeau's 70s clothes, she can manipulate things that go into the hex, but they're saying she can't create in the hex. So she had to pull them from somewhere. And in I don't know if I'm right about this, but in the comic books, like they're a piece of Mephisto's, like a sliver of his soul is the children. And at times when, you know, the Scarlet Witch was in a dark place, they would just disappear from reality. And then when she wanted them, they would come back until he absorbed them back in. So like, I don't know if they're going the comic book route or if she did pull like children from a different multiverse. And because how does Vision,
you're talking
Vision's
about
like me,
Wanda, right?
He's cut. Yeah, I'm talking about Wanda. Yes. She can't create. She can't manifest something out of nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Agatha seems to be in control, right? And
Mostly,
yeah. So she seems
Well, she
to have
makes a
done
joke
this.
about not being able to control the kids, though.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think this is just a theory, but I think she's been feeding off Wanda to make whatever she's trying to make happen. Kind of
I don't doubt that.
Do you guys
using it as fuel, maybe?
Yeah.
do you guys think that like next episode we're gonna finally see her husband?
Well, if her husband does appear, is he Mephisto? Is he Nightmare? Is he somebody else? I've been wondering that too. I want her to be a bad. Like I want her not to be like the puppet of another character. I want her to be working hand in hand with this other person. I've been wondering who the frig this mailman is.
I think the mailman is that the person that was supposed to be under
the MI,
the FBI investigation thing. But I think that like they're gonna reveal the husband, because I think ultimately it's gonna be like that couple versus Vision and Wanda. So I think there's gonna be a couple kind of like,
yeah. They've been saying a big name for him too. If it's Mephisto, they've been saying a real big name for that. I don't want to say the leaks. I think it was in your chat already though.
Oh, okay. Deviant Pork says the kids look disgusted by that Molshi look. Look at their face. The kids are pretty like they're good actors.
They are.
They are.
They're good actors. Yeah, that was a funny scene. I was like, the kid was like, "What are you doing? Like what?" But yeah, so she's all happy, like, yeah, get out of here. And then the world starts freaking out.
Yeah.
And she's freaking out. And then of course we get to Monica, and Monica had a huge like her story like kind of leapt forward in here.
It's her origin story.
Her origin story has been revealed, and I thought it was really cool. I actually thought this scene was really cool too, like when she went into the truck and she was like driving it. Like I was like, oh, this is cool. Like I like the way that they like showed like when she's in there and she like presses the gas and everything like that. I thought it was shot really well.
But I do think it was kind of weird though that they're basically undergoing their own independent mission.
Right.
When they've been kicked off the base, so to speak. How is this happening? Wouldn't the entire perimeter be surrounded?
Well, okay. Valid point. But it got so big that I don't think they have control of the perimeter yet. And I want to say, for me, I'm guessing because Monica Rambeau has been part of SWORD since she was a child. These people there's people in this group that have such great respect for her that this Hayward dude, they rather work for her than him. But could this be a group of Skrulls that she's known since she was a kid? Could these be Skrulls that are like, your mother has always been good to us. You have been always good to us. We will do whatever it takes. Because it grew like by 8 miles. So it's only been a couple hours. Do they have their perimeter fully surrounded yet? I think you still have a chance to find spots where this could happen.
Yeah, it just felt a little contrived. I mean, this is...
Oh, yeah.
Something like this happens in the real world, the entire military force is going to be surrounding it. There's just...
But that's the thing. I think that they were hinting at the fact that she has her own loyal people in SWORD because of her mom and like the connection to whatever. And I think that the people that she's like basically are loyal to her and trust her, like let's say this woman, like when they revealed to, these people what, like this dude, because this dude found out through the other girl, like what that guy was up to, right?
Jimmy Woo, yeah.
Yeah, when Jimmy Woo found out what the other guy's up to, he like basically, I'm guessing they've revealed to them what is happening, and they're like, okay, we're gonna help you. I'm just guessing.
I take issue. I think it would have been better if they had, like her and the other guy, the main guy. What's his name?
Hayward.
The one who's Hayward.
Okay.
I think Hayward has a good point in terms of preparing an aggressive approach to what he sees happening. Mm-hmm. And she has a good point in taking a very different approach to solve the problem by trying to communicate directly with the threat. It would have made more sense to me if they had just cooperated, if he had given her authority to handle sort of internal affairs with Wanda directly, while he prepared a military strike in case that didn't work. But instead, they've created this contrived sort of battle between them, and now she's a rebel sort of sneaking around, with this rival faction of the military to undergo their own mission. It just seemed like unnecessary drama.
Well, they set that, but granted, I agree with you, but they set it up from the very beginning of her storyline. When she came back, he was like, you should have been here when, they decided to promote him, because she would have had a big say in who got the job. It could have even been her. So I think he looks at the way I've gotten it is like, he sees her as his competition for director of S.W.O.R.D. And he feels like she's always undermining him. You're right. It was contrived. It was forced in a way, but that's one of those moments where I kind of just went with it. I was like, okay, whatever.
But it's just it's in every movie now.
Exactly.
The male and female have to be at odds, and the guy is a jerk and misogynist or whatever.
Yeah. And he's definitely white.
Yeah. It's just,
yeah, totally.
Like, how many times are we going to see the same trope play out? Really?
Yep. I mean, the best one we got was in Winter Soldier again. Like, that was the time where it was like, oh, now this is a good way to show your big bad. Like, the one thing I got to say about Hayward is the name of his operation was cataract. Now, cataracts blur your vision and make you a lot of times see a double vision. And I'm wondering if he was trying to create a vision from the vision parts. Like, instead of using vision, because vision didn't want to be brought back, he was actually trying to create his own second vision.
So
that he can control.
So it's Wanda double vision.
Yeah, pretty much.
Ron,
but see, have that happen.
I'm sorry. I want to thank Ron Cook for the $3 super sticker. It's a pair of blown kisses. So thank you so much, Ron. That is so sweet of you. Sorry, go ahead, Jayne.
No, I was just saying that would have made even more sense to let her go off on her own, give her the authority to do what she wanted to do. Meanwhile, operate your own secret mission, have her discover it. And then she would have a genuine reason to become your enemy or your whatever. That would have made much more sense than her undermining him from the very beginning when he's not entirely wrong.
I'm sorry, Jayne. He's threatened by a strong Black woman.
I don't think it's just about that though. Like, I'm kind of like, I'm gonna play the devil's advocate here, but like, I feel like he's just so over like superpowers and like the whole thing that happened with Thanos and the snap and everything like that, that he's just like, you know what, fuck you supers. Like that's the kind of stance I feel like he's taking. So,
I did like his response when he said, Nina, when he said to her, you like almost like you were the lucky ones that got blipped. Yeah. Because we had to stay here and deal with all that fallout because of superheroes. So I understand his hatred of superheroes, and I understand his dislike, like not trusting Monica because Monica's been gone for so long, and now all of a sudden she's trying to like tell me what to do when I'm the director. And most people probably want to listen to Monica. Like, I get his storyline. I just wish we had something different. But like, we always get that storyline.
We found out in this episode that he is doing some sketchy ass shit. Like, he wanted to bring Vision back to life so he can use him as a weapon. So, like, you know, that's kind of stuff is really like, okay, so you don't like supers, but you want to freaking bring back like freaking
he wanted
AI
his version of Ultron.
Dude.
He wanted Ultron.
Yeah, like that's gonna basically destroy the world. Are you nuts? Like this dude
it's supposed to be a shield around the world, Nina. A shield.
No.
They're repeating Tony Stark's mistake. Great.
It's true, they are. RMRV says Monica Rambeau is getting a little annoying. I actually thought she was less annoying in this episode than every other episode.
That's my point. They had to make her annoying for no reason.
Yes.
That's exactly what I'm getting at.
It's no offense, but it's because Disney's racist and they actually don't like Black people. So they try to make it as annoying as possible and like give him like the shittiest roles.
I wish Deadpool jumped out when she made her superhero landing though. When Wanda threw her up in the sky and she dropped down as a superhero landing, I wish Deadpool all of a sudden appeared. It was like superhero landing, you know?
That
even how she becomes, we'll get to that part.
It's kind of a lame way to become a superhero.
Really? You guys thought so? I actually liked it. So
I don't-
this scene, like she's talking to them. This was a weird scene for me because I couldn't tell like what was happening because in a way she felt kind of like she was being nice to them, but I guess she was like luring them in to
I don't think.
Okay.
fly.
Yeah, go ahead, Jayne.
I wonder if she's trying to hide who she is from them because those kids are really perceptive and they could possibly be more powerful.
Right.
Oh, they're
Then she
definitely more
knows.
powerful.
You know?
Yeah.
This is the scene I was
But do you
talking
think
about
she
earlier.
also?
I like this.
But do you also think she's seen them grow up? She's been part of this, even though it's only been like a week or two. But that she actually like may feel a bit of a connection with these kids. Like she didn't expect them to like them at all, and
No,
she actually
I don't
does
think
like
so.
them.
Nope.
No, I think she's a villain, and I don't think she cares. I think somebody mentioned in the chat that she wants to use them to bring some like somebody back to life or something, and I think that's an interesting theory. I don't know
So
if that's
in
true.
a lot of and this is us, Fat Steven telling me this, and Stig, you might know better than me when it comes to the comic books.
No, not at all.
No, not with Marvel. Okay, well,
No,
certain
I'm
I'm a
noob.
go ahead. Okay,
I'm a complete noob, so I ask people who know more than I do.
right. And what he kind of said, and I think I'm understanding him, and Deviant Porg might know better. Certain entities, dark entities in the Marvel universe, can't just enter into the real world. So, like, she has to somehow bring them in, maybe through a vessel or some special not sacrifice, but ceremony. So maybe that's why she needed the kids, either as a sacrifice or as a vessel. You know, like there's some reason these darker entities can't just enter our universe. Kind of, I don't know, Doctor Strange's type shit.
Clay says the spacesuit was overkill. I don't think it was though, because like they don't like. I actually thought that she should have worn that the first time she went in there because it's like a spacesuit's supposed to like keep the atmosphere that you have inside your spacesuit. So like, if
yeah. So what she do? She rips off the helmet and runs through the hex. You know,
like, that was stupid. That was
it's a commentary on safe space.
She should have kept on the helmet. I was like, why? What?
And she already knew what it does to her DNA, and she didn't care before. So why now do you care? Like, explain why she's now suddenly wearing the spacesuit thing.
Because she's trying to be safe, Jayne. Come on.
To not make it worse. I don't know.
Yeah, to not make it worse. That's exactly what I thought.
The barrier changed though since last time.
Exactly. It looks more aggressive. It's thicker too. Look how hard it is for her to walk through it.
Someone also mentioned the color changed from before too. It's much redder than it was.
Yeah.
That's what I was trying to say before. Like the Wanda burst in last episode, like it used to have colors that relate to Wanda, Vision, and Agatha or Agnes or whatever the frick her name is, Harkness. But now it only has her scarlet red because she put out so much energy in this last episode where it's her controlling that hex. Like,
and that's why she can't control it anymore because it's like it's gotten too much for her to even be able to deal with it. Yeah, Shane says, "I'm protect you from radiation." Exactly like that. It's just she's trying to kind of like lessen the effect.
Yeah, mitigate.
Ron says, "I like the space truck van combo. That was funny." I was like, what is happening? Sketch Therapy, who knows his Marvel, says the reality is that she would have been quarantined and designated a living weapon. I think she's going to be now that she is a living weapon now.
I've been watching Sketch's comments through the stream, and holy crap, he knows his stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, he does. He knows his Marvel.
Yeah.
So there she goes.
Is Sketch saying bingo to me? Sketch, did you say bingo what he said to me or somebody else? Because I really do want to know how the dark entity can enter. I know you need like the Darkhold or Darkhold book that was in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I remember it in that. Like she's setting up some type of ceremony or some type of magical ceremony in this basement that looks ancient as hell. You know, like I just wonder I hope it gets darker this next episode. I hope that last campy bit was because it's going to be dark this episode.
But why
Sky
is
the Naked Nordic Ninja says, I haven't seen the last 2 or 3 episodes. I canceled my Disney Plus after they fired Gina.
Respect.
Just came here to say hi to Jayne. Sorry I can't stay, but I subbed. Hashtag fade out. And I
Nice.
appreciate you.
Listen.
Thank you so much for stopping by. There
He's a
are
good
other
dude.
ways to watch this show, which is what I've been doing the entire time because I've never had a Disney Plus subscription. So yeah, just
Hey, Agatha. I'm looking at Agatha on the wiki page. She has a black cat.
yeah.
Yes.
I'm sure that's gonna make an appearance.
Well, I feel like the rabbit is a mixture between her because she was petting it like she would pet a cat, and when she was in the basement, and it's named Senior Scratchy, and her son is like somebody the name almost relates to her son in the comic books.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that has some weird thing about it.
And
Oh,
DJ, the people are in pain. Like it's all a disguise. What you see is the spell, but the people themselves are in pain and or dying.
Yeah, it's horrible.
That's why they're all like crying. They're all living in like terrible, terrible pain. Like the ones that are like kind of just standing around. It seems like that's what I'm saying. Like the idea, right? Is so scary in itself. Like that's why I had that kind of like Twilight Zone feel. And like I liked what they did with that really dark kind of like because you know how there's all the time the conversation is DC is dark, Marvel's not. And I'm like, Marvel has some really dark stuff. And they can do that. Like if they know how to cultivate that darkness, they can. And, you know, they can do a good job of it. But all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we're dark and we're, you know, mysterious. And then, no, never mind. We're not. We're going to be funny and clowny and like, la, 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 everything's okay. Like, and it's just like, no.
DJ's
right,
saying he would volunteer to be there. But what you don't understand is they're all playing a part. Like everybody has a role. And she's controlling them like puppets. So you wouldn't have free will.
No.
And you would also be but I understood what you meant, like no murder, no this, no that, but you feel her pain through the whole, like you might be saying, hey, whoa, I'm DJ Scandalous, but inside you're like, I feel so bad. You know, like that's the worst part about it. Cause I agree with him. If I had like self-awareness in there, I totally dig living there, dude. I would live there so like we could be roomies, DJ. I'll pay the rent. It's fine.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, I'm with you, Jayne. That sounds like a nightmare. I wouldn't want to live there. Sketch Therapy says they suffer, and that's they seem like they're not having a good time.
No,
I'm wondering if they're
can't move.
if they're fueling something.
Like Agatha's power or something.
Yeah, it's something because why would Agatha just take control of a town and make sitcoms? You know.
See, I don't think she did.
I think that part was. I think that part was Wanda.
I think because when you see when they show the Agatha Harkness show, she's flying into the show dressed differently, and she changes into that 50s getup where she first introduces herself. I think she took advantage of what Wanda did. Like I feel like if anything, she set Wanda up to create it, and then she hijacked it. You know what I mean? Like you're doing what you're saying, Stig. She's probably using it to gain more power, but it was Wanda that mostly did the job for her.
I feel like, you know, there's only 2 episodes left, right?
3?
Yeah.
3?
No, 2.
It's only 9 episodes? I thought
There's
it was
9
10.
episodes.
Yeah.
No, it's only 9.
I don't know. They're going to have to wrap up a lot of things in those 2
They
episodes.
Yeah.
I think I saw
thought it
somewhere.
was 10 episodes. That is a lot of information to wrap up in 2 episodes.
But they're not going to be 37 minutes either. I think they're going to be closer to an hour each. It's going to be like Game of Thrones. They wrapped up everything so nicely.
I hate you for saying that. Really? They're going to be longer episodes for the last one?
I saw something about the length of the season in hours, and they're not even close. They're like 2 hours shy of what I thought was reported. So I would think next 2 episodes would be about an hour long, maybe including the opening and the ending and that and this, but it's not going to be I don't think it's going to be like a half hour of action. I think it'll be longer than that.
That's interesting. Sketch Therapy says they would all feel mourning. They would all feel like the love of their life died, and maybe this will bring him back. So they play along, but they are bewitched by her mournful sorrow, a nexus of pain. That sounds awful.
Yeah. I'm not going in. Unless I can turn into a superhero if I go in like multiple times. I would totally do that then.
Oh my God.
Hey, phrasing.
Why did she take off her helmet and head thing?
I don't
That's
know.
what I said.
That's the only problem I had with this scene, was that she took off her helmet, because I was like, why wouldn't you just like walk in her helmet?
I think she just had this sense of like, I don't need it. I know I'm going to do this. I'm powerful. Hear me roar. Come on.
Yeah,
Black women.
But that's the thing though. Her suit, right? Like her astronaut suit or whatever was able to
and that was an evil laugh.
Her superhero suit. Like, so like if she had a helmet, maybe it would have been like, integrated into her superhero-ness. But she was like, no, I'm gonna take that shit off. And
it could have made her harder. What were you gonna say, Stick?
No, I just said Jayne dished out one evil laugh.
Hey, Jayne, you could do that cackle if you really wanted to.
Yeah, it was like evil, condescending laugh. It was awesome.
Yeah, I love that.
That's when you know she's really laughing.
Yeah,
she really hates that whole black trope thing, Jayne.
I can't stand it.
Oh my god!
And then during this whole thing, when she was going through the barrier, it was like, "Oh, you're the best. You're strong. You're this. You're that."
I know,
like, what's so funny? Ron Cook says she took off her helmet because it was in the script. Right. We have an old Persian saying whenever like we used to discuss that like movie stuff that doesn't make sense, and like the saying goes, because the director said so. Like that's right. All like that, like that's all it is. Yeah, it was in the script, so she had to take it off. Yeah. Like
it's like in Prometheus, the scientists taking off their helmets.
Yeah, it's like, what?
I still like that movie though.
Yeah, right. I was hoping when she took off like the astronaut one, underneath it would be like almost like a Fantastic Four suit, because they're most likely going to come in through sword. So I was hoping it wouldn't say like 4 on it, but it would have that look, like that old school look. I don't know. I was hoping to see something like that.
Shane Nolan says she's the backbone of America. I'm told she don't need no helmet or no man.
Oh man, you know it, girl.
Oh my god. Well, I still like the scene though. Like I like the way that she became a superhero. I thought that was cool.
The eyes.
I would much rather her have been thinking back on her mom.
Yeah,
sacrifices.
But just her mom.
Yeah. Let her pull from her own sorrow and her loss and her love, not from being told she's the bestest ever.
Right.
I thought she was tapping into the mom thing though.
It was just one moment where her mom was like, "Go get it, girl," and and then you have to have Brie Larson. Like Brie Larson has to be the last voice she hears, even though like through the whole season you feel like she doesn't like Captain Marvel anymore. Like, and then all of a sudden it's Brie Larson. Like, ugh.
Imagine dying and the last thing you hear is Brie Larson's voice.
Oh my god, that's hell. That is hell.
Mm-hmm.
Sketch says it was better than Covenant. Says she wears the colors of the comic costume, black and white.
Yes.
Is that true? Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was just hoping it would have more of a spandexy Fantastic Four look to it, but in the colors of her spectrum.
I love her color of her eyes, though. That was cool.
Oh, they're dope.
Yeah,
they're dope.
Oh yeah,
it's like spicy.
Captain Marvel. I remember when I read comics in the 80s. Captain Marvel was a black woman.
Yeah, she was the first one. Outfit.
Yeah,
that was her, Monica Rambeau. She's the first.
I thought Monica Rambeau was the first Captain Marvel.
Yeah, 1981 or 82, but there was racism back there, and we didn't do comic books about black women.
See, again, okay, so like this part was so silly and
Dumb.
dragging on, and I was like, listen, I thought I thought it was like 10 episodes. Y'all have 3 episodes left, and this is what you're doing with your time.
Doesn't Crossroads symbolize hell in
yes,
movies?
a deal with the devil. I thought that too.
Mm-hmm.
But he couldn't just grab her and fly.
Yeah, he could have just flown away with her like 5 minutes ago. Like this
and
goes
the whole truck.
on
The
and
whole
on.
truck. He could have just grabbed the truck and her and gone.
But that's the thing. He's still looped into this show, and then all of a sudden he's like, "What am I doing sitting here?" But it was Agatha. It's not Wanda doing that. It was Agatha blocking him from getting to her.
That outfit is close to her old superhero
it is pretty close, huh?
Yeah.
RMR said, think if her mom would have been so much better. Yeah, I mean, I thought she was, but I guess you guys are right.
It was only one little
very
thing
briefly thought. Yeah. Sketch Therapy says Alien Prometheus is better than Covenant. I agree.
Yeah.
Covenant fucking blew balls.
I even like I like Covenant too. I'm weird.
That's
Covenant the one with the 2
headache.
Oh, what?
Was Covenant the one with the 2 cyborg the drones, whatever you fucking call them, the robots, the 2 robots? One was David, one was the other one.
Yeah.
That Covenant, this is the one after Prometheus.
Yeah.
They both
they're terrible. Sketch Therapy also says the first Captain Marvel was an alien dude.
Right, Marvel. Yeah.
Oh, Marvel. Yeah, I remember they did
Marvel.
the Captain Marvel movie. Oh God, that movie was bad. Belson says it's so much fun to watch the stream because I stopped the show when Pietro appeared, like after they fired Gina, and I canceled Disney Plus. Pirate life for me, har. Yeah.
I like how you think. Wasn't the first Captain Marvel actually Shazam?
Different universe.
No, I know, but wasn't he before?
Oh, yeah, I think so. But like I don't this was good. Like I liked how she became a hero, and then she shows up and she's like, yo, bitch.
Now, let me ask you a question. I like this part. I like how her blue comes out, but now is she created because Wanda is partially a creation of one of the stones? Is Monica a creation of the stone because it was the hex that Wanda created that created her power? You know what I'm trying to say? Like, is she that powerful? Does she have stone power?
I think so. I mean, it's a piece of Wanda that made her this, right?
Right. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
I think she has that, and also now I'm guessing she has like part Agatha power, because if that barrier is like some of Agatha's power, then it would be also that as well. I'm guessing. I don't know anything about it.
So the purple, the blue, and the red, which I was talking about at the beginning, she got the blue.
Yeah.
Out of the hex. Whatever that power is.
Good point.
Yeah, so that's what I was thinking, because I'm like, and it would make sense, because if like the if they have to go up against Agatha, it's gonna be, they have to have somebody who has like kind of like is able to battle her powers or whatever. Deviant Pork says yes, Shazam was the first.
He knows his shit.
You're right, and so do you apparently, because that's what you said. Good job.
I'm more like I used to read comic books as a kid, but it was like 20 years since I've read them. I've done a lot of research since then because I don't want to be not knowing what I'm talking about. But she is a fine looking young lady. She is a fine looking young lady.
They both are.
Yeah, both.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like this scene, except I feel like this was cool. This was the one that you were talking about.
That was dope. That was dope.
Yeah.
Cool.
And of course the mailman is there.
Yeah, she's in front of the male gaze.
Oh my god!
Double pun.
Oh my
and
god!
And red gaze because of Wanda. Red gaze. Subscribe.
That was a pun to the letter.
I just feel like, as much as I understand what they're trying to do with Wanda's pain and everything, I almost feel like, really, girl? Like, I don't know. It just feels so, as
Erratic?
Jayne likes to say, contrived. Like, it's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Forced.
like people die, man. Like, get over it. Like, no offense, but it's just like, come on. Like, you're doing all of this because,
Right. Your
boyfriend
parents,
died.
your brother,
Like,
and now the love of your life died. What a loser.
come on.
If I had those
Like,
powers,
get
I
it
would do the
together.
same thing.
She's not acting rationally at all.
No.
This is right. Maybe creating this was one thing, but this part pissed me off because Monica is coming in. Yes, I know the drone had her voice and it shot at you, whatever. But she's coming in like, look, I'm here to help. And Wanda's just like, yeah, get out of here. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
She's
like,
acting like the Twitter mob. They don't listen.
yes.
They don't pay attention to what's actually being said.
Yes.
It's just weird.
Eclay says she's brainwashed by Agatha.
Yeah.
No.
I
He's
don't
right,
think it's
no.
all, but I don't think it's all been a brainwashing thing, though. I think it's something had to be like a part of her wanted to let
Yes.
her take control. Like, it's not
Yes.
because she's powerful,
Take
man.
away
You
my
can't just
pain.
be like, oh, let's go. Like, I don't know. I feel like,
But
I don't know.
Rambeau was getting to her right here. And then if
Right.
it wasn't for Agatha coming up, that's what I think Eclay's saying. Like Agatha came up and just said a couple words and she snapped back into that. Like, I don't want to think about reality. I just want to follow what she says. It's
Right.
pathetic, actually.
It was really annoying. I was like, really? So
then
yeah,
she was like, "Do it."
Again, we see the mailman. The mailman we saw a lot of shots of this time.
Yes.
And meanwhile, these guys are still at the freaking crosswalk. And then this scene, by the way, where he's scratching his head, I was like,
He's so funny. I'm sorry.
like, what? Like, because he has no hair, so it's like you could hear his metal like getting scratched, and I was like, that's comical. But again, it's like they've gone too comical. It's like,
Yes, I'm with you on
This
that.
doesn't need to be this comical anymore. Like this is getting serious, and now they're like,
Why is he still following it when he's the one that broke out of that? Like, he knows this isn't a good thing. Why is he still doing the interviews and stuff like that? That's the part I didn't like. Like, and then all of a sudden he's like, oh, wait a minute. Why don't I just fly out of here? He should have been like, I got to get to Wanda. Like,
that's
gotta
the
get
thing.
to
Like, he's supposed, not only is he out of it, he's investigating what's happening, but then he flips and starts playing along again. And it just doesn't make any sense. It's like we moved past this part. He's woke, so to speak. Like, he knows what's going on. He's trying to stop it. And now suddenly he's back in the phase of the character like that.
Yeah, but and not just the fact that he's woke, that he has the power to wake others up too.
Right.
So that's the other thing that I think is interesting, because he actually has that power. I would be doing that for more people, even if they're like gonna freak out at first, because like powers and numbers, right? If more people are awake, maybe you can all take down Wanda, or at least convince her, like, that these people are in pain. Like, let them freaking free,
Especially the ones on the outer
let's not
edges.
forget he's not. But don't forget he's not completely Vision anymore. Like, what is he?
That's true.
He doesn't remember anything.
He's trying to figure that out. He asked that several times.
And I like what Sketch Therapy and War Dog Haim is saying. I love that. Like, they're getting it. The pain, the grief, what they're trying to set up. I just hope they execute the last 2 episodes well, where we say, okay, now I understand why this was kind of jokey. And they were setting up like, it's not a joke. It's going to get, I hope it gets dark.
And Sketch, you're right. Sketch, you're right. Because he's a compilation of Wanda's memories of him. And that's true. It's not really Vision.
Right. And will Vision be done after this? Like, I really, that's one thing I want to know. Like, is Vision ever going to become, because he was breaking apart when he left it. So like, if this breaks down, do we have no more Vision?
That's what I was wondering as well. Like during the last episode when he went through the thing and he basically was destroyed, and then she had to extend the universe. So it was very much kind of like Star Trek, like in the holograms. Like holograms can't exist outside the holodeck unless, of course, for like the Voyager doctor that got the the portable hologram.
What was the one in Next Generation where he became like sentient, like realizing he's a hologram and wanting to live on, so they save him in the holodeck computer? Does anybody remember that?
Yeah, I remember that episode. I forget which one. I forget which character it was, but I remember that.
It was like, I remember now. They were doing a Sherlock Holmes things.
Yeah,
that was M. That was M.
It was Moriarty.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Shane Nolan says Moriarty. Yeah, it was good though. But I feel like that's kind of like how WandaVision is like that.
Yeah,
kind of like the holodeck. So if Vision's not going to be able to survive outside, then how is this going to carry on? And is that going to have to do with who we're getting as this ultimate guest star that's going to come and basically make it so that he can survive on the outside? Or
well, Magneto can keep them together. He is metal.
But why was he even breaking apart except for her pulling him back in?
Well, either her or Agatha pulling him back in. I'd like to go back and see the color.
Phrasing, people.
I wonder too, we're saying like he's parts of her memory, but when he got out of the hex, he still was fighting to get away and save people. So there has to be some of Vision coming back.
Well, his physical body is real. His physical body.
I know. But now I'm starting to think the mental is turning into, like, now that he's learning who he is and what really happened, I feel like he could take over the mind now. It just has to be the body has to be healed, and who else can heal that but Magneto?
They can just take him back to Wakanda.
Sorry, what was that, Jayne?
In the show in one episode by just taking him back to Wakanda.
Oh, I know, because Suri could really put his ass back together, but
that's true. Sketch Therapy says, was Vision ever a soul? Was I a compilation of data? What part was code? What part Infinity Stone? Can she replace the stone magic in making Jarvis plus Ultron into Vision?
That's what I'm hoping to see.
Very good points here. And then we had RMRV says, please don't let Vision die again. I know, he's my favorite character, and if he's gonna die again, I'm gonna be pretty upset. I'm gonna be like,
the only thing I could say is in the trailer we had there is a scene where Wanda, I felt like they were reversing it, showing Wanda destroying the stone again, but I believe that maybe part of this is her putting the stone back together and actually Vision having a bit of that stone, because she could pull the stone from a different reality. It doesn't have to be the stone that what's his name destroyed. She could pull that stone from a different reality.
But wouldn't that screw over the other reality?
Yeah.
Screw over who?
The other reality that she's pulling
Does she care? Come on. I mean, look what she's already done.
And see, that's the thing too. They've made her into this heartless being. Like,
Sketch says no. So it doesn't screw over the other reality. Each stone only works in its dimension. Oh, okay, so she can't do that then.
Maybe from a time then. Like screwing up the timelines again and creating a branch timeline, like they said. I mean, think about it. The Loki show deals with that type of stuff. So will her like taking it from a different time or dimension, even though it might work not like that in the comics, but in this it might work differently. The Loki show might deal with them going after her and Vision because they did this.
That's all very interesting. Mega Max says the mailman wears a cap that has a rabbit symbol like Senor Scratchy. He also followed Wanda and Agatha after the Agatha steers Wanda from Monica. Yeah, so maybe he's not. Maybe he's evil. Maybe he's not.
Nice catch.
Yeah, really nice catch. I didn't even.
Maybe he's not one of those people like the one that the FBI was hiding or whatever. Maybe he's the husband.
Mm.
That would be crazy. And then Blake St. Clair says, in the comics, Monica has powered Vision. She has electromagnetic powers, but Vision wasn't Mind Stone powered in the books.
Okay, so what he's saying is without the Mind Stone, Vision was Vision, and then Monica was also able to save him with her electromagnetic powers and power him back up.
Silver or whatever.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know enough of like West Coast Avengers and Avenger like that stuff. I was more Spider-Man and Daredevil as a kid.
I know,
Cookie with Ruthie.
I was definitely more of a Spider-Man person. Darren says Disney doesn't care about continuity, which is all very true. Hey Jimmy. Hey Jimmy, thank you for being here. Sketch says stones can be pulled from one dimension timeline, but not from X-Men, Fantastic Four, or Spider-Man universes. That is so weird. There's so many weird rules. Like I don't like why? Like why do all of this? Like if you're gonna pull from one reality, why can't you pull from all realities? There's too many rules. There's too many rules. But yeah, so moving on with the episode, she goes into the house, realizes the kids aren't there. That would have been the first thing I noticed. Be like, where's my kids? And then she realizes that they're not there. And she's like, maybe they're playing in the basement. And
a locust? Was that a locust on the window? Like, what was that bug? Because sometimes, like, a locust is a sign of a demonic
fly. That scene creeped me out too, because I was like, "Oh my god, it's a fly! This is not good." That scene with the fly.
I don't think it's a fly though. It's too big. It looks like a locust to me. I don't know. It's
let me see if I can.
Locusts destroy everything they come in contact with.
It wasn't. It's a fly. Locusts are way bigger. Huge.
Look at the wings on that thing.
Maybe
but that's not a locust. Trust me, because I've lived in a place where locusts actually have taken over, and like they used to come and land on my window and crawl on the window, and it was the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my life. So I know what they look like.
It could be something that's shape shifted.
Yeah. Locusts are more like grasshoppers.
Okay, not locusts. What are those? Cicada. Cicada. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
It looks like a cicada.
Kind of, but cicada is even bigger than this, and it's brown.
Yeah, I agree. Maybe
this
form of cicada.
I actually, when I first saw this, I thought it was some sort of drone because it doesn't really look like a natural. Like I thought maybe this is some sort of sword drone or something like that.
What did Lord Vengeance calls it something, and Blake also. It is a cicada. I can't read. I don't have my glasses on. I had to get closer. It's a cicada. They're cicada. Or something in that family. It's definitely not like a housefly or a horsefly. It's too fat and weird shape. But that's a really cool call there, Nina. Like maybe it was like a little drone, like one of those mechanical flies that turned into this because it went through the hex. I like that.
Yeah, I thought this might be like a drone because it was too non-organic looking for it to be like like there and where it is, like its location. I'm like, this is pretty weird.
But I mean, after she gets the vibes, what? Say that again. I'm sorry.
She notices that it's something else too.
Right, and right there, when someone tells you to go in the basement. Right away, I'd be like, okay, this is effed up. Like, what the hell are you talking about? My kids are in this creepy basement. Where the, magic up, be prepared.
Yeah, she seems very docile here. Like, it's like, I would be like, what do you mean my kids are in the basement?
That's what I mean with Dexter plastic up. And there's like Dexter plastic up, like a kill room onto the left.
Yeah, like there's there's like fucking plastic and shit here. Yeah. Like, what is she doing in this basement with the bodies and stuff? You're like, what is happening? Like this part right, like she's got like there's like plastic. It looks creepy as shit. Like there's more plastic here. It looks like it's like a murder dungeon. People have been murdered in here. And then you see these weird roots, and you're like, what is this? Like a gateway to Narnia? Like what's happening there? And then she walks in and it's like a freaking dungeon. Is that like, what is that?
Yes, that's like a demonic
That's a-
symbol.
Yeah, isn't that like?
And there's multiple ones. So I had an idea because there's multiple doors. There's a Baphomet or ball over here on the bottom in that door, the bottom right. You have these symbols. When they were sitting in episode 2 with all the women in the circle, and they were like, for the children, and they were talking about their plans. I wonder if they're part of her covenant. Dottie and all the girls.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a really good theory, Scott. I like that.
Yeah, and you see the goat's head too. That's hellish symbolism.
There's more symbols of. There was a lot of symbols in this.
It looks like a cathedral almost, though, inside.
Yes,
exactly.
It looks massive.
Go back to the door. Go back to that last, not the one where you see both these symbols, but the one you pointed out. There's a door on the bottom right, like you said, Stig. And the door on you had it there for a second. Just a hair. Do it a little farther. No, you're going
like the very first door.
Yeah, that you showed it the very first time we walked in there.
Like
you showed
one.
it. No,
This
keep
is the very
going.
first time.
Keep going into the cellar, into the Narnia.
Yeah, into the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Yes, just a little bit more. Right when she looks into it, right there, bottom right. You see that? What stick? Oh, you just lost it.
No, I had
Right
it again.
there, right there. That bottom right one is like a sheep skull.
I
or
saw
like
that sheep skull thing.
Yeah,
it's like
or
the ram's horn.
ball. But it's a doorway.
I can't pause it there. Hold on, let me
That's
see. Okay,
fine.
there it is.
It's
This
a
one.
doorway into something. Like that's
looks
where
like
the person's going to come through.
I thought it was an alcove.
It looks like an alcove. That thing looks like
With
a statue.
Oh, okay.
Like it's sitting on the thing, but it's like the ram horn, which is like it's like a demonic symbol
It's like
for like the devil.
Okay. I saw something different the first time. Sorry.
Oh no, that's fine.
I made you do all that for nothing.
Oh no, it's okay. We had Deviant Pork said something interesting though. First time Mephisto appeared in the comics, it was a fly. So
that's
a really interesting.
I definitely think it's something that shapeshifted. That's my theory. I don't know if
that's
it's
what I
him
thought
or
too.
whatever, but I think it's something real, like a being of some sort.
Yeah, it's either like Mephisto or a drone from the outside, like the sword people are trying to keep track of what's going on, or Nightmare or something. Somebody even said earlier, maybe it's one of the Skrulls, like not the Fly, but the Skrulls whatever. What were they called in Captain Marvel? Skrulls, yeah. They might be in this reality as well. So that's also a possibility because Monica Rambeau is heavily involved in this, right? So
that's what I'm saying. The people that helped her with the truck, I believe, was a set of sword that was Skrulls. Those were Skrull people. They weren't human.
Okay. So yeah, she's like, "What the f is this?" And it feels like she's been here many times, to be completely honest, because
oh wow,
it's almost as if she's forgotten and she keeps forgetting that she comes here.
That book. Probably a big hint, the symbol on the book.
There you go.
Yeah,
I feel like all these things was very important. I don't know what they're gonna do, but
what else was around the book though?
Let's see. Hold on.
Go back to the book.
She sees this thing, and then she sees. Okay, so there's like a bunch of skulls and shit in here.
Bones.
Bones. Okay, and then
there's a plant.
What is this?
That looks like
some sort of scrolls or something.
Yeah, scrolls, and there's like a plant.
Yeah,
but what is on that?
It looks like Gwyneth Paltrow candle.
Yeah, goop.
Is it some sort of bottle?
What does it say? The writing though, is it numbers or?
I can't tell. It looks almost to me. It looks like glasses. With a mustache.
It looks like a key. Like this is a key.
Yeah, no, I mean on the right. Of the shelf.
These are just. It's just like it looks like just leaves or something.
Sign?
Yeah, like it's just like
no, it looks like hieroglyphs or something.
Yeah, hieroglyphs.
Runes.
Like it doesn't really look like
it's not runes. It's absolutely not runes because I know runes.
I'll take your Nordic truth.
Yeah, Norway.
But
Um,
Nina, I didn't think that until you just said it. That makes so much sense why she's just like walking in there nonchalantly when her kids are missing. Like
mhm.
it's almost like she remembering something she doesn't remember. That's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like that is what it feels like. It feels like she's been there over and over, and you know that this
Mind wiped.
happened. Yeah, mind wiped over and over. And she's like, "Oh my god!" Like this is the part that really annoyed me because she's like, "Oh my god!" Like I'm Agatha Harkness, and then you see her do
See,
her little eye thing, and then Wanda's eyes become purple. So and you know, and so she's like, you know, putting her under the spell.
like
Which
showing her what
there it
she's
is.
done. Yeah.
Yeah. So and then you find out that she's basically been hypnotized over and over in order to, you know, do the things that she's been doing, which kind of starts making sense. Like I was saying earlier in the season, Jayne, like I don't think Scarlet Witch is evil, so it doesn't seem like the kind of thing she would be doing on her own. So I like that Agatha Harkness does have a huge part to play in this. I just didn't like how they introduced her because I was like, okay, like it's just so like, oh my god, like I'm Agatha Harkness, and then they do this little scene with a song, which was fine because it was in run-in with the, you know, with a sitcom part, right? But it also didn't really make any sense because in this part there should be no sitcom playing because you know, the sitcom
That's
was
it.
being created by Wanda
Well, she's
for the
taking it
outside
over.
world.
But no,
It
she's
sounds like
not
she's
taking
taking
it
it
over.
over.
She's telling you all along it was her. Wanda might have something to do with it, but it was Agatha who did everything. She got Wanda to open up this hex, and she's been controlling Wanda and this hex as much as possible since the beginning. All along, it's been her, not Wanda. That's why at the beginning it's so important. It says created by Wanda Maximoff, but actually it's not Wanda Maximoff. It's Agatha who created everything with the use of Wanda's power.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, I still
That's what
feel
I
like
got from
I
it.
feel like it was a little out of place though because it's like, you know, she just this is just for the audience.
Mm-hmm.
This has nothing to do with the show. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, I know.
This is just for us.
You
And
know
I
what I
felt
almost
like
feels like though? It
mm,
feels like they did it to because everyone at Lucasfilm subverts our expectation. And since the beginning, people have been saying this is who this character is. And I think they just said, you know what? Instead of like changing it now that everybody knows what we planned, let's just go for it and be like, you got it right. Let's
mhm.
be corny about it for just this one little part. To make fun of the whole idea of sitcoms being the plot line. I just think they said, we're not subverting your expectations. We're going to give you exactly what you guys figured it out to be. And I was
This
actually
part
happy with that.
this part too like was a little confusing for me because
Yes. Yes.
she did this thing like in this scene that she had something to do with bringing him into this reality.
Like she's controlling them.
But I don't like, but I thought that Wanda brought him over from the other reality. This
Exactly.
is why this is confusing. So it's like, did she
Exactly.
do it or did Wanda do it?
Yes. No, she did it. She's
Okay.
using Wanda's powers, but she's the puppet master of this whole thing.
Oh, and I also thought it was really weird. Speaking of Pietro, I thought it was really weird that Pietro wasn't in this episode at all. Like we did not see him until like the very, very end. That was a post-credit scene for the first time. Because there was no other post-credit scene before this. This part was funny.
And also along the same lines, you had asked earlier, does she really care about the kids? And showing that she killed their dog, I think pretty much proves she doesn't.
She doesn't give a shit about those kids.
That was awesome. I'm sorry, I love that. I
so
killed the dog too.
Yeah, I killed the dog. There it is. She's like, and I killed Gruffy or whatever her name. And she does like this evil cackle.
She does like that Jayne cackle.
Oh my god, it's way worse. And that was it. And then you see the end. Where is it? Come on.
I forgot we were at the end. Okay, good. You're past it.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
So she's just like looking around the house at like Wanda and whatever her name is, Agnes went into, and then she finds the back door, and then she opens it, and then this dude shows up, and he says some funny ass line, and I was like, dude, you're so lame.
You know that house is the exact house in I Dream of Jeannie, I believe. It's a exact duplicate of, I want to say it's Bewitched. One of the two. It's the one that Agatha lives in is the actual one of those houses, which, my question is there a barrier around that house? Like, Wiccan, her son goes in there, Tommy, and can't hear anything. Is she blocking Wanda's control so she could be herself in there? I'm guessing that's what it must be.
Well, it could also, never mind.
I don't know, because what do you mean? Around which house? This house?
Around this house, Agatha has some type of barrier.
It doesn't seem like it, because they're about to walk in right into the basement.
No, not physical. Like a barrier that doesn't allow magic to work inside, or you know what I mean? Because she can't be herself if Wanda has a moment of clarity and if she's in this house, she can be herself because she protected it.
But her magic works.
Yeah, exactly. It's her. That's her nexus. That's her.
You're saying that only her magic works, like nobody else's magic works.
I don't know that. What I'm saying is, Tommy goes, it's quiet in here. You're quiet. And he was complaining about hearing so many voices.
Right.
I feel like there's like a shield around this house that doesn't allow magic.
But could it also be that he doesn't hear the voice inside her head because she's not suffering the way everyone else is? I mean, she's not one of
them.
She's not one of the townspeople. So
because
when he hear what their pain.
Yes. And when he said that, Jayne, you're right. Because I thought that basically she knows how to shield herself from his.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
The whole house.
But I don't think it was the whole house. I think it was just her.
But she probably doesn't have any internal voice because she's actually independently there.
Right.
Acting of her own free will, unlike everyone else.
The only reason I said the house, because if she goes into the house and wants to be herself, there has to be some way of Wanda not sensing that. And when he's in Wanda's house, when Tommy's at home, he hears everybody. So he's hearing people outside of his own house, but in Agatha's house, he can't hear anybody. It's almost like the shielding blocks him from sensing anything outside. And then what Jayne said, she doesn't have any inner, struggle.
Here's my question, though. First of all, Blake Sinclair says like a magic verification. That's hilarious.
I thought that was perfect.
But also, what if I just came to me, and I know you have to go, Scott. So if you have to go, just let me know.
I will. A couple minutes.
What if, because Agatha did create this dude, like now that she showed herself, that she was in charge. What if he's gonna be evil? Like, what if he's gonna not help? Maybe he's there to stop Rambo, or
maybe he's Senior Scratchy and actually her son. He's a rabbit 1 minute and this. No, that's stupid. But anyways.
Well, no, maybe you're onto something. Maybe it's actually that evil dude, like her husband in disguise. Maybe it's not even her bro.
Right, or her son, because she does have a son. She does have a son in the comic books. So,
like another son? I thought she had two sons here. Oh, you mean Agatha's son?
No. Agatha has a son in the comic books. Oh. So, yeah.
Oh, okay. All very
I do
interesting.
Have to bounce. Thank you for having me.
Do you want to just give us your final theory for next episode, and then tell us where they can find you, and then bounce?
Yep. So next episode, I think they're going to do a lot of Agatha, how she got Wanda, because Wanda doesn't remember how she did this. She doesn't really remember much after going and picking up Vision, probably. So I believe they're going to have mostly Agatha telling us how she did it, why she needs Wanda, and then the big bad is going to enter into the story, whoever that is to be, And then Vision, Monica, and Wanda will end up fighting him at the end of this next episode and into the final one.
Okay, well, thank you, Scott, and tell everybody
Thank
where
you.
they can find you, your channel.
Thank you, Sporking News Podcast. You can find me at YouTube and Twitter at the same name, and a lot of other stuff I barely check. Tomorrow night we do our Song of Ice and Fire book club, where we reread the chapters in right now A Clash of Kings with Jayne and Stig and Miss Martin Muses and Teresa, Lady Toriel, and sometimes According to Christie. And you guys can check that out tomorrow, and dumps on Wednesday and Saturday, where I have no control over my panelists.
Very cool. Scott, thank you so much for being here. And you can find
Thanks.
Scott in the description down below. I put his link in the in there. So subscribe to Sporking News. Thank you again, Scott.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. I really have a lot of fun talking about this stuff with you guys. I'm sorry I talk so much.
Join us again next week. We'll probably talk about it again.
I will. See you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Have a good day, Scott.
A super chat from Lord Vengeance for $5. Thank you so much. Says not keeping up with WandaVision, but this has been an interesting stream. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad that you were able to find some entertainment. And here is a clip for you.
Precious Venus. Thank you.
That clip makes me laugh every time. Okay, so final thoughts on the episode and theories. Stig, what did you think, and what do you think is going to happen next week? Oh, he's not here. Stig, can you hear me?
Sorry, the browser kind of froze when you play the clip. Tends to happen on StreamYards a bit.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So what was the question?
I said, what were your final thoughts on this episode, and what are your theories for next week?
Well, I like this episode. Had like a reveal at the end and all that, and it's fun to see Monica Rambeau's powers starting to emerge. I think next episode though will be kind of like a exposition. I guess it's going to be a lot of info dumping, and I think it's going to end. Well, the last 10 minutes is going to be a fight, I think, and it's going to end with a cliffhanger.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a cliffhanger one too, because I mean that's like the second to last episode, right?
I think there's going to be a dilemma. Does Wanda let Vision die permanently, or does she let the villain get away?
And I mean, like this is like all sorts of questions that I have too about Quicksilver. Like, is he being used? Is he also kind of like Vision because he's also dead in reality, but now she's pulled him from another reality? So does that mean that they can pull another Vision from another reality? Like, there's just so many questions left to be answered. What are your thoughts, Jayne?
Well, this wasn't my favorite episode for all the reasons that I said. It wasn't terrible. So I guess I would rate it somewhere around a 6 or a 7 out of 10. In terms of next episode, I don't think there's going to be a big reveal in terms of an enemy. I don't think there's going to be a big bad. I think she's going to resolve her issue with Agatha by simply waking up and taking control, coming to terms with Vision being dead. And I mean, because they don't have a whole lot, it's not like there are that many episodes left. So I think we're going to see more resolution in the next episode to these issues, all by way of Wanda. And then in the final episode, we'll see probably the introduction of new characters as part of this phase of the MCU, actually, and lead us into the next show.
Wow. I think you're right. I think everything you said was right. I mean, I personally enjoyed this episode a little bit more than you, I guess, but I really did like Monica Rambeau turning into Monica Rambeau. Like I like that scene. I also really liked, like I like that she like has powers now, and I thought that was cool. But I just didn't like the tone change. I've been like, I'm not feeling the tone change, and that's all.
Oh, I forever hate the tone of the show at this point because I just don't. It seems far too serious what's happening for the comedy level in the show and in what's supposed to be the real world part of it outside the zone. So it just it wasn't what I expected when I heard about the show, and I guess I'm just still disappointed in how they've taken it and what they've done with Wanda. I feel like she's regressed as a character too.
I know that's what it felt like to me too. Like it kind of pisses me off that they've made Wanda this like emo, like really annoying, like she can't get over like anything. And then now they're like, well, she's been brainwashed the whole time. And it's like, well, I mean, I kind of saw that coming like a mile away.
Yeah.
That's why I stopped doing reviews about it too, because I was like, I just want to know what happens, because I don't want to just every week be like, I think this is going to happen. And then, you know.
I stopped doing reviews and pulled my old reviews.
I know. I might pull my old reviews.
I'm so fed up with this show.
You know what? At the same time, I kind of want to keep it up there because I'm like, at least like, because I kept being like, it's probably Agatha Harkness the whole time, and then they're like, it was Agatha all along, and I'm like, okay, yeah, that's right. Mexican Iron Man for $9.99. Thank you so much. So it's go Dina Infinity. 1,000 today, 100,000 subs tomorrow. Go fight, win. And thank you so much. I will. Muchas gracias. Here is a clip for you. Let me find a good one here.
I want you to get on this phone and give him his thank you. No, I can't. Jerry, this is the way society functions. Aren't you a part of society? Because if you don't want to be a part of society, Jerry, why don't you just get in your car and move to the east side?
So thank you again. So yeah, next week I think the same thing as you guys. I think there's going to be a huge information dump. We're probably definitely going to get a reason of why Agatha Harkness is doing all this, and like what is exactly happening to Vision, and what Sword has plans. Like, you know, the dude. I mean, he's going to find out Monica Rambeau is like a superhero now, and he's gonna probably lose his shit.
Yeah.
What's that guy's name again? Hayward. Yeah. She needs copium. I know, right? They had like a really weird commercial in the show this time too, which we didn't really talk about, but like it was called like Nexus or whatever. And then it was like, you know, it was like about a depression pill, take your antidepressants today. And I was like, what the hell is this?
But do you remember from the last episode, the commercial with the guy, the little, I don't know if it was supposed to be a man or a child, but he's sitting on the island and he's starving.
Yes.
And he can't open the can. Like, that's exactly what's happening to these people.
Yes. And see what I mean by that dark tone? Because that commercial was really freaking dark. And I was like, I like that weird, surreal darkness. And then all of a sudden they're like, no, we're really funny and happy. And like, this is silly. This is all silly. And there's nothing to be scared of. And like, whatever. It's just, dude, pick a lane. Like,
exactly.
Mexican Iron Man's making fun of me, making fun of Ezra Miller. You want to fight? Ron Cook, good night. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. But yeah, so we're just going to wrap things up now too. I mean, we've talked about this episode enough. I think there's nothing else to really talk about. We're going to find out what's going to happen soon. Any comments, any final thoughts?
I think that pretty much covered it. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean,
I don't know either.
It's just like, you have no idea. Every time I'm wrong, because they just keep going in the wrong direction, I feel. So it'll be something stupid.
I don't know like what to say. I just know that I'm a little vindicated knowing that it was Agatha all along.
But
like,
everybody's been saying that. Like that's
so that's so weird because it's like, okay, it's gonna be like they're gonna pull the rug from under us and be like, no, it wasn't Agatha. It was actually her husband, this mailman.
But
Or
would they
I
in
don't know.
2021 make it the husband who's all powerful?
Yeah, that's maybe it's a lesbian lover.
Probably.
Maybe it's wait, what was that guy's name supposed to be? Mephisto?
Mephisto, whatever. Mephisto.
Sex swap Mephisto.
Yeah, they'll do that.
There you go. Done. A sketch therapy wants to probably kill me for saying that. It's called, what? It's called Nexolopromicide a la Nexus.
Protomolecule? No.
Oh my God. All right. We're wrapping it up. Thank you, you guys all in the chat for being here. Curtis, thank you so much. I need a friend also. Don't we all? Eclay, Hetty, thank you so much for being here. Lord Vengeance, thank you. Shane, Ron, who else? Who else was here? Deviant Porg, Mexican Iron Man, of course. Thank you. Sporking was in the chat. Lots of people stopped by. Blake was here. Sketch therapy, of course. Where are you, Sketch? I get blah, blah, blah. There you are. Sketch. Lots of other people were here. Wardog Heim, Blake Street. I think I said that already. Darren. Anyways, thank you guys all so very much. And we'll probably pick this conversation back up next week just to see what happens and have a discussion about it. So yeah, with that said, you guys have a great night. Take care, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Take care and be well.